Every day, someone takes a little more from you than you realize. Not in money alone, but in attention, energy, and choices. You feel it when your apps demand endless scrolling, when a price seems fair but leaves you uneasy, when your time slips through invisible cracks. This is the quiet economy Tim Wu calls extraction, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. Tim Wu, best known for his influential book The Attention Merchants, has spent years exposing how corporations compete for our minds. In the age of extraction, he expands that lens to show how modern systems are engineered to capture value from ordinary people without them noticing. His writing blends economics, psychology, and technology into a warning we can no longer ignore. The core idea is simple but unsettling. Extraction thrives when people act on autopilot. We click without thinking, subscribe without comparing, and accept defaults designed to benefit someone else. These patterns reveal a behavioral trap. When choices feel easy, we surrender control. Wu argues that the most dangerous losses are the ones we never feel happening. To make this real, think about a free trial. You sign up with good intentions, plan to cancel, but forget. The company relies on your optimism bias, your belief that future you will be responsible. In truth, future you is busy and distracted. By the time you notice the bill, the extraction has already worked as planned. Wu shows how these systems profit from predictable human errors. Another example is dynamic pricing. You search for a flight once, and suddenly the price rises. It feels urgent, like demand is surging, but often it's your digital footprint nudging you toward a faster purchase. This taps into loss aversion. We hate the idea of missing out, so we act impulsively. Extraction succeeds whenever emotion overrides deliberation. One of Wu's most useful frameworks is the idea of friction. Companies reduce friction when they want you to spend and add friction when they want you to stop. Buying is smooth and effortless. Canceling is hidden behind endless menus. Once you understand this pattern, you begin noticing where someone wants to make quitting mentally expensive. Wu argues that friction is not inherently bad. It becomes harmful when it disguises manipulation. If you've ever tried closing a social media account and ended up frustrated, you've witnessed strategic friction. Each extra step exploits cognitive fatigue. We think we're making choices, but really, we're being dragged into the path of least resistance. The book also dives into attention extraction. Humans are wired to chase novelty, so platforms design infinite feeds to exploit that bias. Your brain rewards each new clip or post with a tiny hit of curiosity satisfaction. Extraction works here not by taking money, but by capturing the most valuable currency of all, your time. Time you never planned to give. This is a perfect place for a quick reminder. If you're enjoying this breakdown, take a second to subscribe to Atomic Books. It keeps you from relying on algorithms to bring you back here. Now, let's return to Wu's insights. Wu highlights a subtle but powerful point. Extraction rarely feels like theft. It feels like convenience. Pre-checked boxes, bundled fees, suggested tips. These quietly shift defaults in ways that benefit companies more than consumers. Humans tend to accept default settings because they reduce mental load. Extraction thrives where people trust without verifying. Think about restaurant delivery apps that preset high tips. Many customers tip generously without realizing the number was chosen for them. It's not about generosity, it's about inertia. Wu shows how businesses exploit this by designing choices that look optional but operate as psychological anchors, guiding behavior before you make a conscious decision. Here's a question for you. What's the biggest bias that has cost you the most? Loss aversion, optimism, overconfidence, or default acceptance? Share it in the comments and like the video if you've ever caught yourself making a decision that felt like yours but wasn't. Understanding your patterns is the first step to breaking them. A key actionable idea from Wu is creating personal stopgaps. When you know your brain prefers ease, introduce intentional friction. For example, if impulse purchases drain you, remove saved cards from online stores. That extra minute to find your wallet disrupts the automatic loop. You reclaim control by making harmful behaviors slightly harder. Another strategy is attention budgeting. Just like money, your focus needs limits. Wu suggests identifying the digital habits that quietly extract hours from your day. Set specific windows for these activities rather than reacting to endless notifications. When you decide the terms, extraction weakens. Structure becomes your best defense. Wu also encourages consumers to question simplicity. When a process feels too easy, ask who benefits. Free but data-heavy apps, buy now pay later buttons, instant checkouts. These conveniences mask long-term costs. By pausing before accepting a smooth pathway, you interrupt the exploitation of your cognitive shortcuts. One of the most empowering lessons is recognizing value asymmetry. The company almost always knows more about you than you know about them. They track behavior, predict impulses, and design choices tailored to your weaknesses. Wu asserts that the goal is not paranoia, but awareness. Awareness creates a fairer negotiation between you and the systems around you. Wu closes with a hopeful message: extraction isn't inevitable. When individuals understand their own biases, they become harder to exploit. When people take small protective steps, reading contracts, comparing prices, slowing decisions, the entire system shifts. Companies respond to patterns, and if patterns change, so does the market's behavior. The age of extraction leaves you with a challenge. Look for the places where value leaks from your life unnoticed. Ask who profits when you rush, when you scroll, when you don't think. Each moment of awareness is a small act of resistance, a reclaiming of power, and these small acts, over time, reshape your economic and psychological landscape. If you found clarity in this breakdown, consider subscribing to Atomic Books. Tiny, thoughtful shifts lead to remarkable results, and together we explore the frameworks that make your decisions stronger, sharper, and truly yours.